Thanks for listening. Got to get the usual stuff out of the way. All opinions and what we say. We have no affiliation with the Utah State Aggies or any of its affiliates. So, what's been puzzling me? Thanks for listening to the Aggie Up podcast, by the way. The thing that just keeps going over and over in my head is the 15 games, the last 15 games that Utah State's played. They're 5-10, and what's weird about that is after a program-defining win against Boise, one of the best wins in program history, supposedly, the Aggies have been on this decline. So, Seth, please, do you know? Do you know why? Can you explain it? Can you give us any explanation or anything to help us figure out what the heck is going on?
You want a BS answer, or you want like something that I don't know? I've been thinking about it, and I just think that we have players that have a lot of talent, but I don't know the physical tools. I just don't know if they have the mental makeup like they did, the 15 games before. I mean, we've lost a lot of guys at graduation or whatnot, and those guys were kind of part of the whole turning point, a little after or whatever. But I don't know if some of the newer guys are they're losing that, that feeling and playing with a chip on your shoulder, even if you are 7-0 or whatever, still playing as the underdog. I don't know. Last podcast we did before the San Diego State game, I didn't expect what happened to happen. I didn't necessarily think that, they might pull out the win or whatever. San Diego State's a very talented team. All three phases. They were the better team, obviously. And I mean, there's a lot of things in that game I just couldn't understand. But the last 15 games, that's the only thing I can come up with. I don't know if, it just doesn't seem, I don't know. There's only two guys, it seems like, on the whole team that plays with any fire, emotion, or anything, and that's Levitt, of course. I mean, that guy,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how bad we're getting beat. I mean, he makes a play and he gets excited about it, and then Rock got hurt. He broke his leg and they pulled him out or whatever, and Gage Ferguson comes in, and very first play he comes down the line and just played a smack on Pumphrey. We're calling him DJ, right? DJ Pumphrey, is that what we're calling him? That's what we were calling him last week. DJP. So laid the smack on him, and he got excited about it, and there's nothing wrong with showing some emotion, whether it's excitement or if it's you're pissed off or whatever it is, you know what I mean? And it just doesn't seem like you see anything from the offensive side of the ball. Like I don't know. I don't know if that's how they're coached, just to kind of be reserved, or if that's just the mentality of who the guys are. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's just like, show some excitement. You're supposed to be playing a game and having fun and doing something you love, and it just doesn't seem like they have that.
Yeah,
right now.
and I'm definitely not, by no means am I going to disagree with you, because I think that goes right into what my keys for the game against Wyoming and really the rest of the year, and also maybe my tangible things that I can find or things that I can look at and say, this has kind of been a decline. And it sounds funny because, Utah State by and large beat Boise last year by causing a lot of turnovers. But since then, Utah State hasn't caused a lot of turnovers. They just haven't gotten that going, and I think it goes right along with what you were saying. That desire and maybe that fire is one of the things that can help cause those turnovers, and so that's one of the things that definitely have. And what's funny too is it's not half. It's by no means you know Matt Wells' second half of his half the halfway point between right now and when he started, because that Boise win was beyond the half point, but it was almost a turning point, or almost that was Matt Wells' peak as of right now. That was Matt Wells' peak in his coaching career, and now he's almost lost as many games since. I said 15 games. There's a chance that he could have as many losses, which is 11, after the Boise win as he did before the Boise win, which was obviously a lot more wins. It was 2.5 seasons instead of at this point we're barely over we're not even to 2 seasons since that win against Boise, obviously. So pretty crazy, 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 crazy stuff. Not even I'd say that not even to 2 seasons, not even to a season and a half. So it's crazy. I mean, I have no idea how to explain it other than maybe those, obviously, not getting as many turnovers, not playing with a fire. I agree with you on that. And then really the O line. There's no other way for me to explain. And this is not something new. This is something I've been harping on for the last 3 years. Is offensive line, offensive line, offensive line. The weakness of this team is offensive line. Well, in 2013, it was a little bit inconsistent, but played well enough, obviously, to win a lot of games. 2014, it was really inconsistent, but had a good game against BYU and a few good games, right? And just was still the weakness of the team. 2015 was not great, but obviously had a good game against Boise. And and as much as people want to say, oh, our offense and play calling and everything is so much different and so much worse, um, it all goes hand in hand. That the offensive line, the turnovers, having that short field, you know, having a quarterback that's not as good, and really I can go down every single position group, every single, maybe not down to every single player, but really they've had a decline at almost every position, every important position. For example, quarterback. For example, offensive line. For example, maybe not running back if Devontae Mays was healthy, but Devontae Mays is not healthy. He hasn't been healthy the whole season. So that's all that's my explanation. That's what I'm coming to realize, I guess. And if you disagree, obviously hit us up, Aggie up on Twitter, call it UState on Twitter, go to ustateaggies.com. By the way, that's our sponsor. Right now, there's a lot of cool things going on at ustateaggies.com. Whether you're a premium member or not, go check it out. Go check out um, the new articles on all the new Aggie basketball players. Check out those articles. Post your comments, obviously, on Aggie sports in general. If you're happy, not happy, what you think needs to change or improve, or whatever, how we can explain these 10 losses since the Boise win. So definitely go check that out. One of the coolest things, though, just in general, as far as becoming a premium member, there is the Aggie Up code. If you put in Aggie Up, you get a couple months free. But maybe the coolest thing is that if you sign up for a year membership, it's like $45. You pay $45 for Scout.com membership. All the benefits we've been talking about every week and every podcast, with everything from the tickets, discounts on gear, all that kind of stuff, all the premium articles, everything included. But not only that, you also get a year of Sports Illustrated magazine and online, like the premium Sports Illustrated membership. So that's like a $30 value. I'm sure you could find it cheaper, but it's a free benefit. You're gonna save that money too, and that's never a bad thing. So check that out. Definitely worth it if you're on the fence. Just go for the premium. Pay $45. Get all those benefits, and you're just paid for the year. You don't have to worry about it anymore, and it's 100% worth it. I don't know what Seth. You used to be a premium member with like Iowa website, right? I'm sure you were paying more than $45 per year for Iowa, right?
Yeah, it was more expensive, and you didn't have all the benefits like it does now. You didn't have like the apparel shop. You didn't have like discounted tickets. You didn't have any of that type of stuff. It was basically just inside information.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, all you're getting is those premium, recruiting articles and that kind of thing. Scouts really stepped up and added, and will continue to add more and more benefits. It's more and more. You're gonna get a ton from your premium membership with all those benefits, with the tickets and gear, and saving money on stuff you're probably already gonna do. Um, you know, Seth and I are planning on going to Nevada game, so I mean it's definitely a good way to go. So definitely check that out. Don't want to take too much time on that. Seth, what do you give me a rundown on Wyoming? We know Wyoming's kind of just improved across the board. If as far as I can tell, I mean they're not that different, but at the same time they're kind of just better. They're a pretty well balanced, solid team in all three phases of the game, and in my opinion. So, what do you think about Wyoming?
yeah, I mean, I kind of mentioned at the beginning of the year. I mean, I thought they were going to be a
Have to
lot
bring
tougher
that
this
up,
year
don't you?
than I do every
No,
time
I'm just kidding.
because I just got to remind everybody that was calling me crazy that now who's crazy anyway. So, but no, I just watching them play last year. I mean, they came up here and I mean it was the game at halftime. It wasn't until later on that they kind of pulled away. Um, but Brian Hill, the running back, he's a lot different than Pumphrey. He's big. Obviously, everybody that follows the Mountain West, they know he's an Illinois kid, and I don't know how in the heck. I know they were recruiting him when they're up at North Dakota. When the coaching staff was at North Dakota State, they were recruiting him. But I just don't know how he didn't have any Big Ten offers, to be honest with you, because he's a Big Ten caliber running back. I mean, he's big, he's physical. Their offensive line's big and physical. They had a guy last year that played defensive end, starts with a G. He was real lengthy, and he just got dominated last year, but he put on a lot of weight this year, but his knee's shot, and I guess he hurt his knee, so he's out the rest of the year. But he didn't play against Boise, and that didn't affect him, So they're just a real physical team, and they don't, they're not flashy. They're not, they don't come at you with different, things. They just, what you're going to get, just like San Diego State. But I honestly think that Utah State matches up a lot better with Wyoming than they did San Diego State. San Diego State, they were just fast. They were fast everywhere. They were big,
Right.
they were fast, and they just had better athletes than Utah State has right now. And hopefully, next year, the next 2 years, we won't see San Diego State unless we play them in the championship game. But hopefully we can get caught up on, with recruiting and some of the caliber.
After
But
that game, kind of driving home and everything, I kept thinking, well, at least the Aggies don't play them for another couple of years, right? During the regular season, that kind of made me feel a little bit better.
Yeah, and watching, and I'll even say Boise doesn't have the caliber of athletes that San Diego State has. They just have a lot of good athletes, but that's here nor there. That's over with. But yeah, so Wyoming, you're going to see a different